Alright, so I loosely mounted the new timing plate to the adapter plate. And it looks like it can only go on one way, which is that way right there. So I'm going to use the existing hardware from Motoplat. I'm going to apply a little bit of blue Loctite 242 to the screws. Alright, so it looks like the wires will come out here, up and over, or actually I'll probably go behind here. Hopefully there'll be enough room and just shoot right across here where my finger is and right out the hole. Okay, so this is slotted. However, there's no woodruff key here. And this is the timing mark. So really, I'm just going to lock this down, make a mark, and that'll be my timing mark. Alright, I locked this plate down. I removed the 3 screws, put Loctite on it, reinstalled it, tightened them up. Here is the timing mark for the system. Now I have a paint marker somewhere here. See if this thing still works. Alright, I'm just going to mark it straight out and on the edge here. Okay, the actual piece that times this all together is this right here. This has no woodruff key, so we're going to be timing this flywheel to this assembly. Alright, so really this doesn't matter how we assemble it. What's important is this timing mark to the flywheel, which we'll do later. Alright, so I removed the plate so I can route the wires easier. So for clockwise rotation engine like this one is here, I'm going to route the wires through this hole here. Alright, take the Phillips screws supplied in the kit, put some Loctite on them. Alright, and also for these 3 screws you're going to have to reapply Loctite. Alright, so feed the wires through the hole here. Alright, so this hopefully will fit in there, and it does, so that's good. Just loosen up the slack a little bit. Okay, make sure everything's loose. Still slack in the wire, so that's good. Hate slotted screws. Alright, don't forget to tighten these up. Alright, so I want to find top dead center. Now normally I'd use a dial indicator, or the proper way is to use a dial indicator right in the spark plug hole. I don't have one. I have some calipers, and I'm going to be using the depth gauge. So right here is where the spark plug hole is, and I'm just going to let this drop down into the cylinder. Basically, I'm going to try to find the lowest value here. Okay? And all I've done is slipped on the old Motoplat flywheel, because it has a Woodruff key in it. So I'm just going to slide that on, and it's just going to help me turn the motor over. Alright, so I'm going to drop this in the hole. Let it hit the piston, and I'm just going to rotate it until the value stops. So it looks like, in my case, 4.759 is the, and this is millimeters by the way, that's where this stops. So I'm going to roll it back, and I'm going to try to fine-tune that value. And it just so happens that the Woodruff key is in the 12 o'clock position at top dead center, so just kind of make note of that. So right there. Now I'm probably going to have to do that procedure again. This will probably, when I take this Woodruff key out, it'll probably change. But just so you know, that's how you determine where top dead center is. And since this is a two-stroke, every revolution the piston comes up, and that's when it fires its top dead center. Unlike a four-stroke where it's every other turn. So don't worry about that. Alright, so previously we put the motor at top dead center. However, that's not how we time it. We need to time it at 2.4 millimeters before top dead center. That's what the instructions recommend. So what that means, this normally operates in the clockwise direction but it sparks 2.4 millimeters. When the piston is 2.4 millimeters before it reaches top dead center, the spark will fire. It's basically an advanced spark. So what we're going to do is drop this down, find where the piston is. We're going to zero it out. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise and then find 2.4 millimeters in the hole. So I'm going to drop the depth gauge down. Okay. I'm at 4.768, 67. Okay, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to zero it. I'm going to go 2.4 millimeters further. Okay, I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to rotate the motor by hand. Or with pliers, with the rag covered over the threads. Okay, so it's 2.4 millimeters before top dead center. Now we're just going to align this mark here. I'll put a paint on it so you can see it easier. That red mark right there. Now all we have to do is align it with this red mark here. Again, there's no Woodruff key on here. Just going to give it a little whack to hold it. Put a Loctite on this as well. And I'm going to torque that down to factory specs.